Yep, good.
Okay. So, do you want me to go over a pretty good BO that I think I have for this map, or do you?
I'm happy to hear your thoughts because I stole this one from Crazed Chariot, but this was the first one where I screwed up and I didn't put. You see, you can see the little pebbles around the C of the starting order, but I couldn't when I did it, and I thought that maybe it changed, so I fucked up my BO in the first instance. But
All right, let's see the build order then.
so normally, what I do here is just go forwards. Second NG should take the Nexus, third one should be attack moving in the sea to reclaim, and it works afterwards. And then you ledge build the factory after Hydro and the PGen. But in this one, I couldn't see the reclaim. When I do that, that's exactly what I saw. So I assumed have they changed it?
No,
So
it's just the blast from the
small.
ACU kills a little bit of reclaim.
I see.
So it actually has less value. So I. Oh. Do you have the camera mode, which... Oh, what the fuck? I just fucked my minimap.
The one that shows the amount of reclaim.
No,
In
the
a
one that has a preview for build range.
Yes.
Okay, because I've seen you struggle to build the Nexus, and I was wondering.
I have it, but then sometimes it just seems to walk anyway, and I never quite understand why.
No, you see the build. There are like... Wait, okay, can you see it now?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what I have.
So, do you have the inner one or the outer one?
The inner one.
Okay, so the inner one is the basic game one, and it's a little bit actually shorter. Like this one works basically that if a structure is even a little bit, not like this max, but the bones of the structures are in the range, it will build it. And this one is a little bit bigger, and it works that like at least like half of the building should be it, or most of it. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
But
So what's your one?
well, I'm using from the custom build order, so I can see it basically where I have the mouse, as you can see. So I would move my... Okay, I cannot do orders, but I would...
So basically, when you move, you can see where your build range will be.
Yes, exactly. It's very useful. So I would...
That would be very useful.
I would like, when I select my NG, I would click the... For me, it's Control Shift, so I can see the build range, and then I can click my button for the move order, click move order here, and then click the max. But overall, it's a mode I can... I'm not sure if it actually you can download it from the vault, but I can send it to you after the game.
Okay.
It's called additional camera stuff or something like that.
Because I'm literally guessing as to it should be in range, it shouldn't be in range.
Yeah, it's very useful. Do you have the advanced target priority from Strago?
Yes, I have that now.
But do you have the better version? That's the question.
What is the better version?
Well, how many options? Wait, why do I not have... I'm not in game, so I do not have the in-game overlay. How many options do you have for targeting?
There are at least 3. Well, you have your whole part of the left of that. There's like 3 columns. There seems to be a fair few, but I've never ever used NG's Nexus and ACU.
Yeah, because I think what I'm gonna do is gonna bind them to numpad maybe, because I'm running out of keys a little bit. But I need to bind them somewhere, because I'm pretty sure you can bind them as well from what I have heard. But I'm not yeah, I haven't done that. But yeah, it's mostly for what was in the newer version was the ability to target like battleships, cruisers, destroyers, and stuff like that. But it's mostly for settings, to be fair. And in 1v1 you're not gonna really use that. No, the point is that if in the higher levels you probably should get that, since being able to target the... For example, when you do drops, you immediately do the target energy or maxes. Okay, so let's see the build order. Yeah, this is like the standard Certus one. If you want, I can show you one that I stole from Nexus and adapted a little bit, and I think it's a little bit better than this one, but this one is also fine. more or less. Mine is a little bit more APM heavy because it requires this NG to reclaim all the rocks here, so you get the mass, but I get the factories on the ledge much faster.
Okay.
Like, if I remember,
it.
I can show you a replay from my game versus like. I think when I was prepping for lots, because I'm pretty sure when I played Patrick's in the qualifier on this map, I used that one. If I can find that replay. And I found it pretty effective. Because right now, yeah, this engine should have been reclaiming because you won't have mass.
Yep.
Okay, so let's. Yeah.
Go ahead. Because normally, I should have had an NG reclaiming the rocks in the sea, and there should be one just north of where the ACU is reclaiming as well.
Yeah, the thing is that doing it with attack move is fine, but it's kind of lazy way, and also you don't really want to be reclaiming these rocks in the base because they are worthless. So if you can afford it, you should. This NG, instead of getting this mess, should reclaim those rocks along the way, then get the max, then reclaim, or get a factory here so you can reclaim this.
Okay.
Yeah, this engine needs to be reclaiming as well, but probably not in the back. You don't really look. This engine should probably be going to that max. So yeah, you want to grab maybe some reclaim on the way if you can. So grab this and this, but you don't really want to get over here because you want that max. So you reclaim on the way, but you wanna expand as well. Because if you burn through reclaim and don't expand, then you will build up your infrastructure, your factories, and later you won't be able to support them. You overbid power because it was just a muscle, so it's a build other thing, so that's fine. But you get your defenses right. Okay, another thing, quite useful actually. These trees, these are tree groups. They are not like the good ones, but they are decent ones. So if you can, the first factory, if you don't go for some like offensive, trying to deny the expansion, because you can do two things. Either you go super aggressive and you try to deny the expansion, kill the engines, or you go passive and you try to get a better economic scaling, infrastructure scaling with the reclaim, better use of attack moves, etc. So what you can do is actually the first factory gets like 2 engines to attack move here and clean all those trees. This will also give you quite a bit of energy boost, which you need, because at this point you get a lot of maxes. All your engines are manually reclaiming on the rocks, so you will need the power boost. And if you wouldn't have fucked up your build order with the rocks and muscle, you would have really been needing energy right now, because you just finished your factories and you finished your air as well. And you don't yet have enough build power to build so many pigeons, because you need to expand as well. So these trees are really nice.
Okay. Because I tend to do exactly as you said, which is just go aggressive and try and deny that.
Yeah, if you try to go aggressive, then this scout should go the other way and look for the engines here, get the intel. It's a small thing, but you could immediately see how many shit he has hit. For example, if you would have gone here with the scout and you would see 1 tank, then you know you can go in. So get your first two or 3 tanks to group up and then attack immediately. If you see that he already has 4 tanks here, then you know that there's no way you will get there, because soon his ACO will arrive and more reinforcements, so there's no point. So by then you should cut your production and get the maxes and get the reclaim. You know, get MG here, 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 even here. Maybe get some nice radar here to get some intel. But overall, you need to really adapt during the game to what your enemy is doing. So, for example, your first plan was to attack, but if you see that you cannot really do meaningful damage, then it's much better to switch up and go to equal defense as he's defending. You see, for example, right now, you can see that he already has tanks. You can see 2. So you can fight. But if you would have intel, then you could have like waited for you. If you would have had the intel and saw that he had far fewer reinforcements than you, then you could have grouped up your units a little bit more and took a much better trade. And in the early game, if you get a 3-4-0 trade and both of you have 10 units, then suddenly you have 3 unit advantage, and that's big in the early game. Because right now, yeah, sure, you may kill that NG, but his reinforcements are closer to you than yours. So, and he probably has more or less equal amount of tanks coming there. So you will just eventually lose. You will do a nice damage. You will hit the engineer probably, unless there's some invisible tank in the radar range that I cannot see. That also happens sometimes. But overall, if you would have taken a much, did wait for this unit and took a much better trade instead of like 2-for-1 more or less, then you could have snowballed here really badly. But yeah, this is still nice. But the intel is lacking, so that's kind of bad. But you get really nice raids. I saw in your previous games as well. You do get a lot of nice raids, and you do get nice radar, and now the scout comes. So right now you need to kill that NG. That's your priority. You don't have enough units really to do more damage. You just try to sneak units into be annoying. This tanks and here. This go is in the corner. These two go in the corner. Yeah, but that's nice. But you're abandoning the mid, and only right now you spotted his ACU, and he's already taking the mid mass.
Yep.
So
this was way earlier than I expected him to be there.
Yeah, I also do that because people got really used to the meta where you send your ACU here to deny the choke point, get less units. But I found it much more efficient to just send some units here and send ACU immediately to the middle, so you can often get all of it, and then you can basically win game of that if you don't make any major mistakes. So right now he already killed the PDs. Wait, were there any PDs? Even yeah, there were. Wait, were there? Why is there no PD on our side? Oh yeah, yeah, here it is. Never mind. Sorry, my bad. So right now it's already too late probably to get there. You could try to get like 500 mass out of that, but that's not gonna be, I think, too valuable. So what you need to do is get some value out of your commander, and this early into the game, your commander cannot, especially if you get a couple of units with him and a scout ahead, you probably cannot be overrun. So what I would do in this situation, you need to be careful to not get cut off, but I would move the commander closer and try to maybe put some pressure on him so I can take his attention to the bottom side and try to get as much damage with the nice raiding you have. So he will get the mid mass, but what you should do is get this expansion much faster than him. Rush this expansion, like secure it. Move your ACU to the choke point so he cannot raid you at all. Put some pressure on the reclaim here so he cannot easily develop. Put some pressure on the maxes, but you need to be careful so that his ACU doesn't cut you off.
Yeah.
But you have a nice radar already, and if you scout how many units he has, you will be able to do that. And then deny his expansion for as long as possible with small raids, because you don't have enough units really to just hold the line here, because it's closer to his base. And then it should eventually outweigh the mid reclaim he got. But he has right now many more factories. He has 7 land factories to your... Actually 7. Wait, never mind. 7. 8 even. Okay, that's fine. They are just more grouped in his base. But you do seem to have less units actually. I'm pretty sure. You have 18 to like 30? Yeah, 30. But you have no vision.
This seems to be a recurring theme. I always end up with less tanks somehow.
Well, you do go for aggressive raids, so that's how you lose some of your tanks. You take not favorable trades because of that, but you get the damage done, which is nice. But the problem is that even though you took no damage, basically, you didn't take your expansion. Like, I don't know why. You just had no NG coming for the expansion, which is a giant mistake. Like, early expansion, you want 1 NG going here, 1 NG going here, 1 NG going to this expansion. You want 3 NGs expanding, even sometimes 4. Depends how many you can spare.
It was really slow.
Yeah, it's like, you didn't deny it. And what you did is you wasted your ACU's time to go defend it, but you didn't take it, even though it was like defended and for free. So yeah, that's the mistake that could cost you the game. Really, is not expanding here, because if you would have expanded, you would have at least 5 maxes here, maybe even a factory if you would have been pretty fast. Like you should have Angie here probably by like 4:30 or 5 minutes. The thing is, if you can defend it, but you got your IC here fast as well. So right now you are walking for middle, but you will get there when it will be like 500 mass left or something. And also you're beginning to stall, so you need to stop, pause the power production, get the reclaim, get more engines to reclaim. You need engineers reclaiming this. You probably should get this NG after it's done reclaiming. It should build build a factory here or get more factories here so you can reclaim this. Get engines here, here, here with this factory as well when it's safe here. And also need a radar around here because you don't see how many units he has and you're just walking out of the expansion. Like you have no units here. You have two tanks and one is about to die. So the AC is the only thing stopping you from losing this expansion. And you don't know how many units are there. Now you see he has quite a few. But if you actually look, he has a whole army, but he's diverting him to his ACU for some reason because he is scared. Because he is not scouting as well, even though you have like 3 Medusa firing at his ACU. Because as you can see, you got there and there's no mass left. So this like didn't achieve anything. Like, if you're... Wait, let me slow down. If your enemy would scout and play it smart, you wouldn't achieve anything. And the only reason you didn't lose the game right now is because your enemy didn't scout and didn't see that you had no units in the middle. Otherwise, this whole army, these 30 tanks that were here, would just run through your expansion and it would be game over because he got the mid-mass. He didn't yet clear his expansion, but it would deny this drop. These engines, they wouldn't survive here. They would just all die, and your whole expansion would die, and he would lose the game because he just got 3,000 mass for free. And also, he was already ahead. So if it wasn't for his lack of scouting, he would have won the game. These tanks are... It is about the time that you just want to split them as much as possible, hope and be annoying, because as you can see, you can no longer really... Like, he should have cleared them much faster. He should have made one bomber to start clearing them and group up his units, get a radar, get a scout overhead, but he's not reacting the proper way. But overall, once you are like, your reinforcements are cut off, you don't really want this little army to be grouped. You want to be just annoying as possible, right? Like single maxes. Like let him get this, but have a tank here, here, and be annoying, and be let it be a APM waste for him basically, and be annoying. Yeah, that's like one thing that some people don't actually consider, but like your attention spam and your patience and your APM is also a resource. So if your enemy has single units everywhere, it's so annoying that you're so frustrated. You cannot really play by your strategy anymore. You get annoyed, you get distracted, and you don't play well anymore. So if you can achieve those things by having those little raids everywhere and annoy your enemy, it can yield really nice results. Like for example, Zlo, right? He is excellent and doing just that. Like these little annoying raids, he has like factories that are spamming bombers around your expansion and coming at random times.
Yep.
He sets it up. It costs like 3 APM to do it. It costs some mass, sure, but in the later stages of the game, it's really annoying. Then he gets like some random mantis and laps at every max, for example, when you play Hollow, right? It's really spread out. And imagine that he gets a mantis on every single max of yours, and you need to clear them all, otherwise you lose the game. So even though his, for example, economy management sometimes is much worse than yours, he can still win the game because he frustrates you, and then you don't play well anymore. And you miss some bigger things, and your economy goes to shit because you get frustrated, and you like, how the hell this mantis got here? Like, I had radar and everything, but when it gets to you, then you start to make a lot of mistakes, and he can abuse that even more. Okay, so right now he's pressuring you really hard, but he has not enough units here. So I don't think that building is like, you need to, when you are losing, you need to be really careful about wasting mass because you're already behind. And when you see this army and you see yours, then you know that he cannot push through, so it's not good to build PDs. Like, you're already stalling mass, and this will just slow down your T2 and your production. If the PD is not necessary, then you cannot build it because you just cannot afford it. And also, once you realize that after you start a building, just reclaim it.
Yep.
Because unless his ACU pushes right through and risks everything, you don't need the PD. And also, you need to get your ACU to your units.
So I wanted to go into the mid, but he had his ACU units there, and I'll be cut off, so I was supposed to take a long way around.
Yes.
So I'm trying to, but it's
Well-
stuck. It's in the wrong spot.
The move order, or
No, as in my ACUs currently should be with my units, and then I can push him out of mid. But right now, it's when he had the units earlier, my ACU is completely alone, so I couldn't go that way.
yeah, you should have probably went the other way, but then he can push the expansion, so it's kind of hard, really. He gets the better position because he can push either way, and you cannot protect. You can protect both of them, kind of. Units one place, ACU in other, but then he can use his ACU to just farm your units. So he's just in better position. He decides what happens. So if he does it smartly, then he should easily win. But he still didn't clean up your raid. Like, he has so many units here, and he still didn't clean them up. That's sad. So basically, the only reason that you live and you didn't lose the game yet is you had nice raiding, which is nice, but after that you just got lucky that your opponent didn't clean up your 6 tanks that were there. And this is basically now the only reason, because he has actually have the same amount of economy, but he has T2 as fast as you, so that's not that bad, but you're just behind on... Well, you were behind, but then he didn't get his expansion. So
Commander under attack.
let's see how it plays out.
Commander under attack. Commander under attack.
You should get OC, I think. Like, you have enough power and you're fighting a lot, there are clumps of units. I think OC would be good here. And also when there's a lot of spam involved and T2 coming, it's about time you get OC, because usually that's the time when you have enough power income to get enough OCs that it's worth the investment. Also on this map, especially like the chokes. Here there are chokes, here's the chokes, also the walls, it's all fucks up with the pathfinding, so the units clamp up a lot. So auto is fine, but even better if you can get some manual ones, killing like 5-6 units at a time.
Transport is full.
Okay, so now he cleaned up your units, so it's about time that he'll catch up in the income. Like, the delayed expansion kind of counterweight the reclaim he had, so you are more or less equal. It seems that he has a little more units, maybe. You have 70 to 80, so that's not bad. But you saw that he has T2R, so you need to either be sure that you have air control, or you need to get anti-air like really fast. It's when you go for T2 land and he goes for T2R. T2R can deal damage much faster, so you really just want to make 3 flags, 1 for each side and 1 for ACU, and probably the flag to the expansion you want to drop it by transport as fast as possible, otherwise the the travel time is pretty huge. But you need to get flags into your expansion so he cannot raid you with gunships, and after that you will have a massive advantage. Because with 2-2 land you can do, like, it's much harder to counter it than the T2R.
Alright.
But you need to get, I would say you don't have air control, like, just by looking at the game, and you don't, but he is pretty dumb because he built the gunships, but he's not sure if he has the air control. So what you can do, if you cannot, like right now he can outproduce you with the amount of intis really hard, so what he should do is build like 5 more intis, then get 1 gunship and try to bait you into a barred air fight. A lot of players, if they are not sure if they are having air or not, they will just suicide for that 1 gunship and take the air fight even though they shouldn't. But like what he did is build gunships. Then he's like, oh wait, I'm not sure if I have air control, right? So I can't use the gunships. And then he switches back to ATs. So he just lost the window for doing damage. You need to, as when you get T2R, you need to do damage as fast as possible and a lot of damage, because soon enough the enemy will find the resources and the time and attention to build enough anti-air that you can do normal clan can do any meaningful damage.
All right.
So what he should do, as I said, is scout your air force, see how much you have, or like know, basically judge by the game. If he saw, for example, that you had only one air factory versus his two, he can probably assume he has more, and then he can just immediately make 3 gunships and attack. But if he's not sure, try to scout air force, get like enough that you have a little more, and be, of course, when you're like comfortable with your air micro, that you won't lose like 20 versus 10. But I'm pretty sure that you're on a level where like you know how to macro in this. I hope so, at least.
Hit and miss.
Okay, so and then
Feel like I do, but often it fails. So
did you repeat?
I feel like I should. Same with ASF, but often just doesn't work. Don't really seem to understand why.
Okay, we can look later into that if you want. Give me a second, because someone is. Tak?
Obiadu trzeba zrobić.
A mogę tak za 40 minut?
No, mogę trzeba wcześniej mówić raczej.
No jestem trochę zajęty teraz.
To nie będziesz jeść.
Ej,
Nie możesz odłożyć?
no już zacząłem. Okay, I'm back, sorry. So, okay, we can later get back into the micro, but probably not today, because I need to go make dinner soon. Okay, what else? Okay, I think that's enough for the our transition to T2. Let's see the game again. So you are still not having enough engineers, I would say. Reclaim, you have only 1 here, you have none here, which is bad. This map is all about taking the map control and taking the reclaim and using the reclaim, because there's quite a lot of reclaim on the map. So if you can secure all of it, you can easily win the game just from that. If you, of course, don't make any major mistakes, as always. So right now, you're making rhinos, which is, I'm not sure. I feel like often early on hoplites are a little bit better, because if you're not going for full all-in engagements, then hoplites are really nice when you have like standoff, when he has a little bit more, but you have tech advantage, so you can kill some units for free with the superior range. Also, I really don't like this. Like, you have NGs here and you want DMD here, just make it here. Like, you just waste so much time. You have like one.
Now that you put it that way, I have no idea why.
Well, it's basically autopilot, probably.
Yeah.
And also, you built the T2 pigeon, yet you probably spammed already like 10 another T1 pigeons. That's the thing I was talking about last lesson. Don't mindlessly spam power. You need to control your engineers. Don't let them build 100 pigeons and overflow 1000 power. And also, you still don't have storage. By now, you should have 1, and even better, 2 storages. Because it helps you when he snipes your power, because you have the reserve to build the pigeon back up, and you don't immediately, all the raiders don't immediately blink and stuff, you don't go into panic mode. Okay, so one thing is controlling the power, so this situation doesn't happen, but of course we are not perfect. So when the situation does happen, you react to it properly, and how is that?
Should stop reclaim all those pigeons.
Well, probably not all of them, but as much as you can click, depends on the float. Because right now you are getting some reclaim, so you probably don't want to reclaim all your T1 pigeons, but probably at least like 10 or even 20 you can reclaim. Depends how much mass you will need. You can probably stop the pigeons, reclaim like 10, boost your mass a little bit, and then see how much reclaim. If you need more mass, then you can reclaim more pigeons. But don't go like too ham with it, because suddenly you will get 3000 mass from the pigeons and no power to spend it quickly. Okay, this is nice drop, kind of. You can deny 2 maxes, which is not bad. You can probably try to, right now, you probably, I'm not sure if you know that, but you can edge build over these cliffs like this one and this one. And it's pretty useful for the reclaim here and this maxes. So what I would do now is, after I'm done macroing with the army, I know I will push him back, right? I would immediately start building the factory here and probably try to drop these engineers across to get the reclaim here and secure it. You can see his air force, he has more air right now. I'm not sure if you saw that, but you can assume that since he has T2 air. So tell me, my man, where's your flak? You have none, and you have no any turrets. And
So this is when I'm running back to my T2 factory, see it, and go, I need flak now.
well, yeah, he's dumb, so he tries to kill your commander instead of winning the game by taking your whole expansion. So yeah, you got kind of lucky there. And also he waited so long, like you had 5 less. It was like I don't know 12 to 17. Now you have 16, and he has, let's see, like, oh, actually, what the fuck? He's not building any more Intis. He didn't build any for like 2 minutes. Okay, and look at his eco bar. God damn it, my eyes.
Commander under attack.
Okay, so you focus the gunships, which is good since you don't really need to win her anyway, and you didn't have enough. And your flag finally comes out after like 5 minutes of seeing him. Oh, no, sorry, 4 minutes of seeing him being at T2R, like quick reaction times, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so his attack turns into disaster because you get flak out of your each factory. You kill your pigeons, which is nice. I hope you didn't kill your engines as well.
About that.
There were like 3 engines here.
Yeah, I don't know where they went. I don't see the corpses. But
Yeah, because the reclaim could have been blown as well. If they were standing between like 4 pigeons, there's nothing like they got vaporized, my friend. I hope they ended somewhere else as a labor force, but they may have been gone. Yeah. You did some weird attack here, you pushed a little bit too far. Your army got split. But you have T2, so you wanna really push. You have quite a nice Medusa mix, yeah, that's good. That's what you need, but make sure that if you go for heavy Medusa, which is nice, you don't wanna rush in like you would have Mantis. You need to take slower approach, let your T2 tanks do damage, let your Medusa do damage. Don't go all in, basically, unless you have a lot more. Because then Medusa suddenly are pretty useless. You want like to slowly move forward, creep forward, kill off all his shit. You need to now take, yeah, you have enough flags probably, that is a good number when all he has is gunships. But okay, so the thing is, you were echoing, you were getting some reclaim. You killed your T1 pigeons to get a boost, which is nice, but then you need to make a T2 pigeon. You cannot just kill your power and then forget about it.
Try.
Yeah. Like, don't worry. Like, so far, everyone that I trained, basically, same for Morax and stuff, everyone doesn't know how to... I mean, it's not that you don't know, but you didn't master it yet, the power control. And this is something that really takes a lot of time and practice, because the game is really hard, because it's real time, and you need to adjust it on the fly, and you need to have a feel for it, how much you need. You cannot just calculate, oh, I need like 400 power now, you need to feel it. So you need to play a lot of games and master it.
I remember saying I have enough power, and even then, when you asked when the NGs went, I still had plus like 300, and then I didn't know where it went. And then in hindsight, when I look at it, it's because I built a shield and a Tech2 radar.
And also you're getting an upgrade. Now you need to, you're getting the pigeon. You need to pause the upgrade, pause the shield, pause.
Tech2 radar, I was upgrading the shield, and I was getting T2 at once.
Yeah, you need to pause all of that and finish the pigeon. And also try to not suddenly start so many power intensive projects at once.
Yep. I will not do this in future.
Also get a storage, please. It's about content time. And right now you're Okay, so I hope you have at least the radar range, right? When you play, you can see on my screen. You have it, right? Saw it?
Yes.
Do you have the intel ranges when you
Yes.
play?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so try to, when you see that you are about to fight in a fog of war and you don't know how many units he has, what types of units, unless you are like sure or you scouted some time ago, then you probably shouldn't like blindly engage. Is, you know, it's not, sometimes it's gonna lose
Sure,
you the
that's
games.
But I'm guilty of what you said earlier, of just not exactly taking my time, just ran in, and the formation's horrible, and it just dies.
Yeah, because this is a choke point, and the pathfinding, as you can see, the cliff fucks it up. So you probably should get a scout or build a radar here, and then slowly clip forward. You can move forward into the fog of war because you know that you have more and better units, but you just cannot run single file formation into units that remember that the radar refreshes much faster. It's like every couple of ticks, while the vision is much slower. Sometimes it's like nearly half a second before a unit actually appear and units will actually shoot it. So for example, when your tank is coming in and the enemy has radar, it immediately gets shot. And even though this unit has like 3 more range than the tank, the enemy tank can even maybe sometimes shoot faster because it won't yet be detected in the vision. So going in blind, as you can see, yeah, you can see that you have vision here, and even though there are units here, you cannot yet see them. And like only a couple seconds later, they will appear suddenly, while they will be shooting you. So it's really risky to fight in the fog of war. You need raiders or scouts. Like if you are feeling that you need to attack now and you'll miss your chance, that's fine, but then get a scout out. I suppose you have the key for the nearest idle scout. The hotkey.
No.
Well, that will be a useful one to get, I suppose. And also selecting idle factories and engines. But I know the replays are kind of fucked, so it shows the idle factories even though they are not idle. But one useful one is selecting all idle engineers on screen and also selecting nearest one.
Oh. Okay.
So these two cycle through idle factories